Hello Gemini, thank you for joining me here. This is gonna be your monthly reading for month of December 2019, and as usual I want to thank all of you for watching this, liking, sharing, subscribing, and also who has donated to this channel. Okay, without any further delay, let's get into this. Gemini, month of December. Oh wow, cards are like flying out. I was getting this kind of energy that lot of words, but those words mean nothing. I don't know what it means as of now. Let's see what are the cards. Oh, we got 7 of Swords. Perfect. Then we got 7 of Wands in reverse, and then we got Lovers in reverse. Okay. So I feel like with lovers in, not lovers, I'm sorry, 2 of Cups in reverse. With 2 of Cups in reverse and 7 of Wands in reverse next to each other, I feel like that you have lot of, you wanna, okay, let's put it this way. You wanna bring a lot of harmony. You have all this, you wanna be on the right side of the history. You wanna be fair to people. You have this idea of equality, idea of philanthropy, and sometimes in order to achieve all those things you do a lot of like you get very impatient from time to time, and then everything kind of falls flat on the ground. And you are also, the person I'm connecting with, you are also you are very conscious, not conscious, it matters how people see you. But so what you do, I'm sorry, this is a hard reading, okay? So I have to say whatever I feel, okay? Maybe you don't want to hear this, but that's up to you. And I feel like that you in order to maintain this kind of image of someone who cares, someone who fight for right things, you put up this kind of image, but underneath is actually falling apart. That's because 7 of Swords is here, because you just feel like you just say whatever you need to say, because you are a very perceptive person. You know what people wants to hear from you, so you just say whatever that you need to say in order to maintain that image. And then you just wanna like how 7 of Swords is like a little immature kind of sneaky energy to it. Like then you kind of like you don't follow through. You just say whatever you need to say in order to maintain your image, and then you just do sometimes just opposite. Like you don't practice what you preach. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. I know it's hard to hear, but this is the truth of it, at least for this reading. And you have all these ideas, you really have all these ideas, because Gemini, to be frank, you are one of the most creative, perceptive sign of the zodiac. So you understand a different angle of a situation, but sometimes culminate those angles together and do something productive is kind of tough for you. To converting that ideas into something which actually helps others and stand by your opinion and stand by your idea is hard for you. It just doesn't pan out. I'm getting this word also, lip service, like you say all these things to maintain the environment, maintain your, like how people perceive you, and people really take that, and people sometimes cherish you, like cherish, oh god, I cannot pronounce that word for some reason. People really cherish your oh god, what's wrong with me? Anyway, you understand, people really appreciate, and people really feel like, oh wow, somebody is really aware of what's going on and really want to stand for something which is right, what is good. But then you get all this kind of like acclamation from people, and then what happened next, nobody knows. I'm gonna get one more card for this Seven of Swords. One card just for you on the ground. Nine of Swords, lot of swords. Yeah, and you know that. If you're connecting with this, you know that. You don't feel good about that. You really don't feel good about that. But at the same time, you want to maintain your image. You don't really like this behavior of yours. And it doesn't makes you feel proud inside. But outside, you kind of maintain this kind of self-assured, kind of confident kind of aura to people. But you know that kind of maintaining some image that you are not is actually not helping you to grow, and that gives you a lot of anxiety. You feel like, and you are very frank. You kind of make fun of yourself also. You kind of say ha ha ha, like you say something and then that it's not gonna pan out, and you say that like, oh, I'm too casual, oh, I'm just BS, and you say that, but you say that with so much casual attitude and laughter that people actually feel like it's funny, that you are so self-deprecating, but it's actually truth to you. Yeah, I got Seven of Cups. Yeah, it's like you have a lot of ideas that you want to really achieve, a lot of ideas. You wanna it's like almost like too many in your head. And then it feels like that you are carrying a basket full of vegetables, but basket is overflowing. The moment people are not looking at you, everything is spilled on the road, and you are kind of trying to put it back. But then when people actually look at you, you are like self-confident, you are like you got everything under control, and you project this kind of image that someone who knows what they're doing, someone who has everything under control, someone who cares and all that. Doesn't mean you don't care. You do care, because in order to really actually think about what's going on, that's a thought, and you are what your thought makes you who you are. But there is some kind of to really stand by, or in order to stand by what you really think or believe, it takes a certain amount of sacrifice. Not sacrifices, it takes a certain amount of dedication to do that, a kind of hard work, kind of strength, inner strength. That's where it kind of gets all murky. You know what I mean? But you really want to do a lot of good stuff in your head, but it doesn't really translate in reality. Okay, I'm gonna get more cards on from Spellcaster to see. I'm gonna do that. Okay, let's see. What else we can get? We got temperance and we got justice here. So with that, I feel like that you kind of coming to on terms that you feel like, okay, and both of them are, you know, major arcana, justice and temperance. I feel like you are calling for this justice even though you don't realize it, but because you are so, you think about it, you really question who you are, you know, because you project, like you kind of project so many different, a different persona outside, so it makes you very convoluted for you to understand who you are, you know. And you kind of question why I cannot stand by who I really think I am inside, and then I go out and I became somebody else, and then I, you know, it and both this image doesn't really line up, and you are kind of calling for this justice, and I think this justice gonna come to you, you know, something gonna happen, and you are gonna feel like this inner strength, you are gonna be more of a tempered energy, you're not gonna be putting out too many intention out there and not gonna follow through any of them. You are gonna be more tempered, you know, in coming months. I feel like it's gonna take time. Yeah, this is not a one day fix thing, it's gonna take time, but I feel like with there is some kind of justice coming to your way. Justice is not it doesn't have to be all the time pleasing, you know. Justice is very harsh energy that universe shows us. Like universe shows us, okay, you are doing this, you are doing that, and then you have to make it a very objective approach to it, and so that you cannot be biased or subjective to your own needs and own wish, and then you pick up what really feels right to you, and then you are gonna go for that kind of route and that kind of path. So it's gonna be a little tough energy coming into your way. You're gonna feel a little discomfort, but please know that this is for your own benefit, because you really seeking, when you feel like this Nine of Swords kind of anxiety, Nine of Swords kind of not knowing what you are actually doing, what's the point of throwing all these words just so that other can appreciate you, but it doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of empty words echoing everywhere, and then you kind of, it's gonna be hard, but you're gonna be that clarity, like not clarity, that understanding of what you need to stick by and do the effort, put the work in it, and tempering it, like cut your clothes according to your, you know, like there is like, don't take more than you can chew, you know. It's like that, and you are tempering that. You are gonna be doing that. You are gonna be, okay, I'm not gonna think about 4 or 5 things that I'm putting out there and telling people that this needs to be done, that needs to be done, this is right, this is wrong, and then I'm not following any of this. You're gonna take one thing and kind of follow through that, and you're tempering that kind of not indecisive, kind of flaky kind of energy. You are tempering that. and you are going to be, whether you want it or not, it's going to be happening, because those are the major arcana. It's like universe wants you to work on these things, because it's clear from this reading that you are not really happy the way you project yourself, the way you present yourself in the world. Even though maybe other don't know that, other appreciate you, say, hey, that person is so on to the cause and this and that, but you know what the truth is. Even though it's gonna feel a little uncomfortable in the beginning, but it's gonna be feel, you're gonna see the, like this warmth. The more you temper your energy, or the more you focus on one thing at a time and really put effort into that, you are gonna feel much more confident, much more in your element. You're gonna have a better idea of who you are. Eight of Wands in reverse, perfect. See, Eight of Wands is like a Sagittarian energy, it's like a fire energy. So like I said, you have this tendency with Seven of Cups and Eight of Wands, you have this tendency to put a lot of things, like you just talk because you love to communicate, and when you communicate you feel like you need to communicate in such a way so that people can appreciate what you are communicating. So sometimes this alluring nature of appreciation doesn't line up with what you actually want to communicate. So you just communicate a bunch of stuff, and then it just, where are those things? And but with Eight of Wands in reverse and next to Temperance and Justice, I feel like you are gonna temper that kind of communication, that you feel like, okay, I'm in the group of people and I need to please them, I need to impress them with my intellect, with my ideas. So you said a lot of stuff, but that's gonna be, you are gonna hold on to that kind of behavior, that kind of pattern. Not hold on to, you're gonna not you're held back from that kind of pattern. And actually this gonna really help you in coming years, with this kind of change that you gonna have. It's really gonna makes you feel much more comfortable with yourself. You won't feel like that you are acting all the time, and that can be very tiring and exhausting, like Nine of Swords, like Seven of Wands. That can be very tiring and exhausting. You want this kind of Two of Cups, kind of equality. You want to bring that harmony, you want to bring that like good stuff to world, but it just gets somewhere, it just get lost. One more card. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, here, if you really see, look at this card, it's like, again, look at this lady is waving at this person, and everybody is like, kind of, there is a certain sense of acceptance in their eyes, because they have a basket full of vegetables. Like Ten of Pentacles is all about abundance, it's all about earthly abundance, and that create, you understand that when you have a lot, people tend to have, like, admire you, because of what you have accumulated. But that kind of, like standing tall in others' eyes, that kind of tendency you are kind of getting away from. That's what I think, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. You just don't want to project that you have a lot of, wisdom, lot of earthy, you are abundant, just to get this kind of admiration from others. That tendency, you are curbing on that tendency. I'm gonna get one more card for Ten of Pentacles. What is that Ten of Pentacles? You're going to be more focused on how people can accept you based on who you are. Maybe you don't have all these lofty great things to say. Maybe you don't have all these like earthy materials to share with people. So if that is the only source that they can admire you, then you are feeling like, okay, there is something is fake there. You are understanding that. And instead of feeding into that kind of cycle just to get admiration from others, just to get this kind of high standard kind of status from others, you are trying to be more you. And what you truly mean. Cards came out. I'm not gonna take any of that. It's too much. Again, too much. Queen of Cups. Yeah, look at this, that how this person is like really cautious. They have a lot of good emotion. They understand, they have lot to give, lot to offer, but they are not gonna offer to everybody. They are gonna evaluate, really get to know the situation, and then they are gonna offer who actually deserve that. That's gonna be your motto. I feel like in 2020, seriously, you are gonna be try to be, instead of just to share whatever other people wants you to share, just to say whatever the other people wants to hear, instead of that, you are gonna gain the wisdom with temperance and justice next to each other, and curbing this kind of impulsive behavior and kind of prestige seeking attitude. You are gonna be withholding a lot of stuff. You're not gonna be like before, just say whatever people wants to hear from you so that they can appreciate you. So you're just gonna be very much in your own element, and you're only gonna show your true intention, show your care, show that you truly mean when you feel like you can actually follow through, and some people can actually ready to see you the way you are. There are gonna be a lot of tempering energy. I feel like this temperance gonna play a huge role in December and into 2020, because this is not just a 1 week reading. I feel like this kind of energy, it's a long run. So you're gonna be more, like if you are extremely outgoing extrovert kind of person, people will see a little change in you. You know, that doesn't mean that you're not gonna go out with people, but I feel like you're gonna temper your outgoing energy and just outbursting whatever, that kind of energy. You're gonna be more internalized. You know, you're gonna be focusing on what you actually mean when you say XYZ. You know what I mean? And that's gonna make you a little bit more reserved position than you usually are. Okay, I'm gonna get one more card for Wilding Room for advice. I think we already got the advice, but I'm gonna see what universe specifically, if there anything that universe really want you to focus on. Yeah, Father of Swords. Look at this owl with, you know, like universe is actually advising you to stick to your truth. Father of Swords is like, in this deck, Father in regular tarot, it's like a King of Swords. And owl is all about wisdom. Owl is all about knowing, knowledge of your atmosphere, knowledge of your environment, knowledge of your society, knowledge of yourself. And you are gonna hone that knowledge. I feel like this December and 2020, it's all about really knowing who you are. That's gonna be your focus and what you mean. And you are gonna show what you mean through your action more than your words. And that clarity, universe is telling you, that's the advice, because I asked card from this deck as advice, and I feel like the universe is telling you to really be honest with yourself, really know what you're saying. Look at this, how piercing this owl's look is. Like, really, you need to look into the mirror with harsh honesty. It may feel uncomfortable in the beginning, but the more you get into this energy, is actually gonna elevate you, actually gonna give you a lot of freedom and relaxation. This gonna kind of free you from all this kind of anxiety. You feel like you are just acting and just doing whatever, just, you know, so that you can get by, so that people can appreciate you. Those kind of external gratification, universe is telling you, no more. Look into your eyes and say what you actually mean. Be honest to yourself. Okay, I'm gonna get one more card from this Oracle of Mystical Moment. Your mood, you know, what kind of overall mood you are in. To the moon and back. Yeah, it's like, you know, you're gonna be, like I said, you know, you're gonna be, maybe it's not your nature, it's your by default nature to be so not recluse, but you're gonna be lot in your feelings and not lot in your, like, with your inner knowledge. You're gonna pay a lot more attention to yourself, you know, like when you say something, you're gonna reflect immediately. What does that mean? Did I really mean this? Or why did I say that? You know, those kind of reflective thoughts gonna be a lot on your mind. It may, this process may make you feel a little solitary or a little lonely, but I think you're gonna go through it because you're come to a point where you feel like this is time, I need to be myself. I cannot just try to be what I'm not for rest of my life. Then what's the point? You coming to an understanding of that concept, it's gonna make you feel, like you're gonna miss all those, like happy-go-lucky kind of days, because you're gonna be more into yourself. You're gonna be more kind of introverted. You're gonna kind of gonna hone into this kind of introverted kind of energy, not completely, but more into in your feelings and emotion and what you actually mean when you say something. But you're gonna go through it. I can feel it. You're gonna go through it. The person I'm connecting to is gonna take a lot of energy out of you, but you're gonna go through it. But the reward is very peaceful. Trust me, reward gonna be very peaceful. Alright, Gemini, I think this is it for month of December, and hope you get something out of it. And alright, I will see you next time.